Hi, my name is Sawsan Al Zatari. I currently live in Amman, Jordan. Growing up, I have lived in 9 countries: Kuwait, Sudan, Libya, Iraq, US, Canada, Syria, Lebanon, and Jordan. I am what you call a UN kid. My dad is a firm believer in education, where he has sent me and my brothers to the best schools in these countries. I remember one time bringing him back a test result with a 95 percentile, and I thought I did pretty good. He asked me where were the other 5 points. I always felt I had to do more. This feeling tagged along with me to university, where I went to 4 universities in 3 years. Not because I was failing, but because of all the moving. I ended up in Lebanon at the American University of Beirut, and while getting ready for my graduation, I had to start applying for my master's. And I remember sitting at main gate at AUB and one of my friends telling me about urban planning. I had no idea what it was, but I applied and got in. 3 days later, after my graduation, I was sitting in a classroom planning without a clue. Those were the worst 2 years of my life. My professors were looking at me like I'm a miserable failure for not being able to understand the technicalities of a building or its designs. Some of the professors even said it out loud. I remember I was arguing with a colleague about the laundry lines at the balconies hanging, and he was telling us about how they ruined the image of the building. I thought those were the best things about the building because they told the stories of its residents. I thought of quitting every day, but I'm not a quitter and I could not be a failure, so I stuck it through until I did my thesis. I had no idea what to do my thesis about, and since my parents were living in Syria at that time, they advised that I do it on the downtown, which I did. My thesis was not about the city and its architecture or its design, but about the stories of the city and its people. And this is where I fell in love. Every day I would take a map and walk around downtown, talking to the merchants, to the residents, to the tourists, to the foreigners, to the kids, and to the elderly, writing their stories. I didn't realize I would soon be a social planner. Even my professors were shocked by what I have become and told me to add more stories about the city, what they called the fabric. It is what also made them fall in love with the city. Let's just say that on the day of my thesis presentation, everyone just sat there listening to all these stories with smiles all over their face, forgetting that this was a technical thesis presentation. This is what led me to community organizing. I realized then and now that stories can be so powerful, moving people and bringing a point across more than a million technical speeches. Through community organizing, I can tell my story and I can also hear yours.